Alrighty, welcome back everyone, it's Arcane here bringing you another Neverwinter video. And today we are going to be discussing the many-starred Lockbox, and we are going to continue our Lockbox guide playlist. So, if we do go down to the many-starred Lockbox and inspect it, right off the bat you're going to see the initial legendary pool, which is the Arcane whirlwind. So if we do take a look at the whirlwind, it is one of the better mounts as far as legendaries go. The combat power, it's pretty useless for the most part. However, this mount does come with an equipped power of 4,000 power. And then of course it does have the legendary speed. Mostly, this is definitely a cosmetic item, but it is comparable to the Black Ice Warhorse. They both have 4,000 power. As far as price ratio goes, since it is a new item, it started off very high, but since the market is so saturated right now, they are fairly low. So if you were to buy one of these now, is probably the time to snag one. As the market does change, they will fluctuate in price. They will inflate back and up in price. As the market dwindles down, as time goes on, these will eventually go back in price. They should be valued anywhere from 15 to 20 million, somewhere around there. As I said, currently they are on the lower end of things. And that's because so many are still, so many people are still popping boxes right now. And the market's just getting oversaturated with them. But as all things in Neverwinter go, as time goes on, prices change. And this mount will retain its value, no doubt about it. Like I said, the 4,000 power alone makes the mount very sought after. Moving right along, we do have the epic version of the mount, which is, 2,000 power. Well, there's plenty of other mounts that are 2,000 power. These tend not to get too high as far as cost ratio goes, but nothing too exciting other than, like I said, the aesthetics of it. It does look cool. If I do go back to the Arcane, yeah, I'm not very big on cosmetics, but, there are some people out there that are, and they will pay high-end, top-end dollar for cosmetics. I personally will not. However, that's me, that's not you. Moving right along, we do actually have an artifact as well. The Tomb of Ascendance is a decent artifact, mainly for tanks, because it is power, defense, deflection, and lifesteal. These aren't too high right now. It's basically a lesser version of the Will of Elements as far as effects go. You cast it, you can choose one of 4 effects. Obviously, the Aboleth is comparable to the fire from the Will of Elements. But as far as statistical value, power, defense, deflection, yeah, Guardian, Fighter, Paladin, it's pretty good, statistical values. So basically, these will also retain some sort of value down the road. But right now, they, like I said, are on the lower end of things. So if you do have intentions on getting one, now would be the time. And like I said, as time goes on, these will probably most likely go up in price anywhere from at least 1 million plus. Moving right along as we move down, the new artifact is the new artifact pack is called Cabal's Artifact Pack, and basically it's just your normal artifact pack. Greater Marks of Potency, Refining Stones. The Will of the Elements does have a chance to drop out of this, as well as the Than Book of the Dead. Nothing really new here. Most of this stuff you can obtain from trade bars or drops in chests, etc., etc. However, if you do get a Will of Elements from here, it is the epic version. So, I mean, as far as pulling and getting lucky, yeah, your best situation is pulling a Will of the Elements. Everything else is pretty subpar. If we look, the Horn of Valhalla is in this box as well, and those are dead. Those are dead in the market currently. They're 10k or even less now. Moving along, we have Gyron's Artifact Equipment Pack. It's the same thing. Most of these items are insignificant in value. You're basically hoping to get the greater marks out of here. Cube of Augmentations does make a return in this box, so, the price ratio on those has been driven down as well. But yeah, mainly you definitely want to get the marks out of here if you're looking for that sort of thing. Like I said, the gear itself is so oversaturated that it's almost worthless. The Lucan's Enchantment Pack is the Enchantment Pack out of this box. And it's your normal enchantments. You know, this is where you're going to get your superior marks and greater marks from, as well as some refinement. You know, as always, the refinement market is in the tubes right now, thanks to Mod 10. So, as cost ratio goes, you know, most of this stuff isn't very high. We also get the Flaming Enchantment and the Bark Shield, which are two subpar enchantments out of this. So, your cost, you know, margin isn't very high overall. The Nestora's Companion Pack is going to be the companion pack in this box. In my own personal opinion, this is by far the worst companion box that we've seen in a lockbox thus far. Of course, you do have the chance to pull the 30 companion upgrade tokens, which, you know, everyone needs companion upgrade tokens. Then, of course, the Bonding Runestone, rank 9s and rank 8s. However, if you do look at the bottom half of this, this is what makes this box so bad. We've never had a box thus far containing so many companions in it. Mainly when you're popping these boxes on a 2x enchantment event, you want to get the most bang for your buck, obviously. So you want to be pulling as many runestones as possible. However, in this box we do have, what, six companions just in this box alone. However, you know, it is still an uncommon pull. You're mainly going to get the runestones, but you are going to get some of the green companions out of this box. And we don't want that. You know, your profit margin just goes down the tubes if you pull one of these companions over runestones. So the rank 7 runestones, as I just mentioned, you know, the refinement market is extremely low right now. However, you know, runestones are runestones, whether you need the RP yourself or you're trying to profit from it. When you pull 6 rank 7s, you know, that's 12k. But if you pull a green companion, you're looking at 1k. Literally, the Portal Hound is less than 1k AD right now. So as far as companion packs go, you might honestly want to think about just selling this pack outright and trying to get money to obtain other companion packs. If you really want to open these, that is going to be your personal call. Like I said, my own personal opinion, this is definitely one of the worst companion packs we've seen. 95% of people that open packs to begin with are only after the runestones, especially during a 2x enchantment event. And like I said, when you have, you know, even if it's only 2-3% to pull companion over the runestones, it's a fairly high percentile. The epic ones will sell slightly higher, but I mean, you're majorly going to get those green ones, and that's just no good. So I would personally recommend you stay away from this companion pack, but worst case scenario, open it. The Aboleth Mount Pack is going to be the mount pack out of this box, and we do have some new mounts out of here. Of course, you're mainly going to get, you know, insignias. You do have a chance to pull epic insignias, which always either sell well, or if you still do need some epic insignias. However, the mounts out of here, the stag is pretty subpar, the apparatus is pretty decent, the heavy twilight still holds its value. Now when we look at the new ones, the aberrant Feywolf, the aberrant Drake, and the aberrant Yeathhound, out of those three, the Fey is the most important. Most people don't know that this is the first rare blue mount that can actually have Assassin's Covenant on it. Up until this point, you were only able to obtain Assassin's Covenant by epic mounts, just a handful of them. Just I think like 3 or 4 epic mounts were able to even get Assassin's Covenant. So people wanting Assassin's Covenant were paying, you know, 600 to 800k for a purple rare, or I'm sorry, epic mount to get Assassin's Covenant. This is the first blue rare mount that can have it. I don't know what the current prices are because not a lot of people know what it's actually worth. So if you do need Assassin's Covenant on a DPS character, I suggest you look at the market and see what the Feywolves are actually currently going for. And I would buy it. You know, I wouldn't even hesitate, especially if you do need that insignia bonus still. Once more and more people realize the value of the Feywolf, that probably will go up in price. The Aberrant Drake and the Yeath Hound, however, are, mainly cosmetic items, so not very, high demand for those, to be honest. And then when we look at the green ones, the Gorgon, the Infernal Nightmare, the Shadow Wolf, yeah, that market's just in the tubes. The Shadow Wolf is so oversaturated because of the Winter Festival. The Inferno Nightmare, before this mod released, was actually still selling for, upwards of 70k. However, now the Infernal Nightmare is like 4k. So, as far as your profit margins go, if you're going for epic insignias, then I would open this box. If you wanted the chance to try to get a Feywolf, you can open this. I would just sell the mount pack outright. Personal preference for me. However, you can do as you wish. Moving on, we have the Ascendant Fashion Pack. Now, this is by far the worst pull out of the box overall. The developers had mentioned that they did want to throw in a fashion pack in this mod in the lockbox as a test to see how well it did take with the community. The community did not like this. I mean, there's no reason that you should have fashion items in a lockbox unless the fashion items are just 100% totally kick-ass. However, these fashion items do not look good whatsoever. These are just absolutely worthless. They're going from anywhere from like 1 to 2k. Which sucks. The bad thing is that this is actually an uncommon pull from the lockbox, so you're not going to get a tremendous amount of them. But when you do pull one, I mean, it just sucks. It's the worst item in the box by far. Moving right along, the Genies Gifts does make a return. Anyone needing, to finish campaigns and want to sort of power level their campaigns, Genies Gifts now are low in price. So, the more and more the market gets saturated, that balances the Genies Gifts price. Whenever this lockbox goes away and we do get a new one, then the Genies will go up in price. So if you want to stockpile your Genies Gifts now and save them for a few months and then unload them, a 20k per Genies Gifts is about normal. I don't know what the current market value is, but I'm sure they're pretty low right now. And then finally finishing out, we do have the Tarmaloon Trade Bar Jackpot, which is in every lockbox. Overall, this lockbox does have some value, but my personal opinion is unless you're really trying to pull a whirlwind, or if you really do need the Tomb of Ascendance artifact, there's really not much value here at all, to be honest. Like I said, Mod 10 basically ruined the refinement market. So there's really nothing good in here, to be honest. You could always stick with another lockbox of your choosing for more value. Like I said, unless you're really trying to get a whirlwind or the artifact, I would give this lockbox probably a 6 out of 10 just because the whirlwind does come from it. However, there still are better lockboxes out there to open. But that's my personal opinion. Everyone has their own. But that's going to wrap it up for this guide for the many starred lockboxes. If you have any questions, as always, please leave me a comment below. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.